That's their drawing, it's not mine. I do what they tell me.
Harvey Pratt spent decades with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, and you could call him a frequent flyer on KOCO5's airwaves.
It's fairly factual. Just by following the contour of the face, I can reconstruct a damaged area between the cheekbone and the jawline.
I would look at a drawing and then the mugshot, and why they'd be almost identical.
Tuesday, some of his former co-workers met with us at OSBI headquarters. Dee Cordry is a former OSBI agent.
There was one homicide case that I had, and only a skull had been recovered, and so he did a reconstruction of that face.
His forensic sketches and artwork received national attention. Here in Oklahoma, he worked on all kinds of huge cases, some of which were the Girl Scout murders of 1977, and criminal investigators from around the country wanted his expertise. His co-workers also mentioned how he worked on the Green River murders in Washington State.
And Harvey would tell you that, I've never seen him that mugshot before. He had no prior information or, visual.
Harvey had a lot of field experience, many years as an agent before he started doing his forensic artwork. Former OSBI Deputy Director and State Senator Dick Wilkerson told me how he and former Senator Gene Stipe came up with a position for Harvey as a civilian employee after all that field work.
Stipe just looks up and he said, well, Senator, said, we're in the business of passing the laws. So I just moved that would create a position at the OSBI of a civilian forensic artist.
But Senator Wilkerson looked at Harvey as a friend and a fellow military veteran. And he also told me how Harvey was a loyal friend after Wilkerson's wife passed several years ago. He genuinely shared other people's burdens.
He told me later, he said, a shiver went through my body. And for the first time since I was in Vietnam, I was scared.
And that's who Harvey Pratt really was, a people person, which made him a valuable tool for OSBI. Other co-workers said it was captivating to watch him interview victims.
It was a master class in how to show empathy and compassion to someone who had been in some awful things, but yet still be able to draw up just the most minute details about what they would look for as composites, freckles or scars or anything.
He taught me better techniques on how to interview victims, and that spread over into offenders.
Originally from El Reno, Harvey was a proud Cheyenne and Arapaho tribal member, and after starting his law enforcement career with the Midwest City Police Department, he retired from OSBI with over 50 years of experience. He's also in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, the state's Law Enforcement Hall of Fame, and the state's Military Hall of Fame. His funeral is scheduled for Thursday, and he was 84 years old. In Oklahoma City, Jason Berger, KOCO 5 News.